yeah. What's up, everybody? How we doing?
The Cavs are winning.
How about that, huh?
Wow.
Kevin Love.
2 minutes left. 2:58 left. We're just going to do a play-by-play here of the Cavs 120.
Can they hang on?
The New York Knicks 117. Let's get this show started. What do you guys say?
Let's get it.
Let's do it, because the Big Play Reflog show is brought to you by ShackNews.com. Shack News, your go-to for gaming news, covers all your gaming content needs. They've got the latest reviews and articles covering everything in gaming and tech, including a reveal of the newest Animal Crossing-themed Nintendo Switch. Kids would like that. And a Shack Chat, discussing their staff's favorite video game collectibles of all time. Go check them out. Head on over to Shack News. Get into the conversation. Click on that Shack News Twitter profile, because when it comes to gaming news, there is only one site to visit, and that is shacknews.com.
Hi, everyone. Tim Kinzer from NBA Jam and NFL Blitz. You're listening to the best podcast on the air, Boom Shakalaka.
Okay, do you need medical attention?
Yeah.
What is wrong?
I don't know. I ain't no goddamn doctor. Free Shakalaka. Reflog. It's just called for backward. Boom Shakalaka.
Welcome to the Big Play Reflog Show. Today is Monday, February 3rd, 2020. I am your host, Big Play Dave, alongside my main man, Mr. Chris McNeil. What's up, brother?
Day after the Super Bowl, just kind of recovering, right?
Yeah.
It's hard getting up.
Carb
the day after
loading.
The Super Bowl.
Carb load.
Yeah, no doubt.
And our newest team member, the Sports Gab. What's going on? How are you?
Clink. To
Clink.
our little
Clink.
Bud
Plastic
Light
clink.
action.
What's going on? How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm recovering from Tribe Fest and the Super Bowl. Busy weekend.
Double whammy. Mm-hmm. How was Tribe Fest?
It was a good time. It was like a almost 13-hour day, and lots of fun, exciting stuff. Goat yoga and interviews, autographs, pictures, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah,
You name it.
stop there.
You have to stop at goat yoga.
You didn't
okay,
understand me?
explain the
What
goat
is goat
yoga to
yoga?
us novices.
I tried to explain this to my dad, and I just sounded like an idiot, so I just feel
Go ahead.
funny saying what it
Perfect.
is.
Do it.
But it's very novel. It's yoga that includes goats who poop and pee everywhere, and you get to
Pay for it.
you get to enjoy it amongst a lot of people. And I think the only perk that the goats really do is I think they can walk on your back.
Oh, okay. Now, was this the first year of it?
This was the first year of it. I don't know who thought of it, but I thought it was a perfect tie-in to get Jose Ramirez in there because he is the GOAT. And
Yes.
sure enough, he made an appearance and everybody went wild. So it was great.
That's awesome. Any other players participate in goat yoga?
I don't think so. I think that was specifically for him, and it was perfectly
There's
designed.
It's a long setup for that one line, but well worth it, I'm sure. That's awesome.
Who is the biggest draw for Tribe Fest? Who is everyone kind of flocking around
Oh, the player?
outside of player?
Well, definitely Frankie.
Yeah, that's fair.
For sure, Frankie. He was looking sharp, but I'll tell you what. DeShields had
the new guy.
Who had the cool hat? It was him.
That was the Shields.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
He looked
made-
like a pimp. He was awesome, man.
He
He's
rolled up
awesome.
in this really cool hat, and he had on these slim pants with these cool shoes. Everybody was appreciating the drip.
Wow, yes.
Wow, that's what the kids are calling it.
Yeah, that's what he was calling it. So we have to
Nice.
respect it. But it was a good time, yeah.
Very cool, very cool. All right, well, we have a fantastic show for you guys tonight. So tonight on the Big Play Reflog show, we got a lot going on here. So we're going to have an interview coming in here in the next few minutes. Our new fullback, Johnny Stanton, joining the show. Looking forward to that. We'll get his thoughts on the Browns' upcoming season, his time with Stefanski and the Minnesota Vikings. Then we will get into our Cleveland sports headlines outside of fullbacks, courtesy of Cleveland Clothing Company. A lot to discuss here. Super Bowl. Got the Super Bowl hangover for everyone. Francisco Lindor, talk about him. Might talk about OBJ. He's making the news. Talk about Baker, making his rounds in the media. A lot going on in Cleveland sports. Then we'll get into our Power Rank Monday. We're going to go movies here, Chris. We're movie buffs, right?
I've been watching a lot of movies
So
this year.
So
yeah, I'm really getting into it.
We're going to do movies we wish they would make a sequel to.
Ooh.
Movies? Ooh.
Ooh.
And then we'll get into a few Would You Rathers and give you our bold predictions for the week. Now, Chris, before we get into the show, there is a gigantic book in front of you that says Growing Up Colt. What is going on?
It's a gigantic book about a small man, with a big heart, and that is one Colt McCoy. And this book, I was Saturday night, exciting times in my life. I was out at Ollie's, and I don't know if either of you have ever been to Ollie's, but Ollie's is kind of like a Mark's, kind of one of those discount places. And they had a Growing Up Colt book marked down from like $30 down to 49 cents. And I saw that, and I thought, how many do they have? And I looked up there. They had 3. So I spent $1.50, and I bought all 3 Growing Up Colt, the book written about Colt McCoy by his father and Colt. And I will be giving away one of those on tonight's show, Growing Up Colt. So
did you
if
get
you're
any
a lucky
weird
listener, I may select you.
Did you get any weird looks in the from the cashier?
Well, you're at Ollie's, first of all, so everybody's giving you weird looks.
Okay, fair enough.
Hey, don't you
it's kind
trash
of an
Ollie's.
inherent
It's
thing.
an amazing place. It's very
it is
magical.
amazing.
It's magical, yes.
I mean, if you need like dog food and then you also need car parts, like that combination, that's where you go.
Also, sometimes a candle that's just like $4. That's great.
That's exactly right. Or off-brand shampoo for 50 cents. Oh, yeah. I'm all over that. Yeah, it is a magical place. But I did find these books. I found 3 of them. I had one person proactively reach out to me already and ask for a book. So I've promised one to them.
Wow.
I'm going to give away one on the show tonight.
No way.
Way.
Now, how do we want to do this giveaway?
If you're keeping track at home, the postage is going to cost me way more than all 3 of the books did just to get it to one of our listeners. Sure, it'll be a couple of bucks worth of postage. I bought the book for 49 cents. So,
well done, Chris. Well done. Well, I know people are going to stick around to figure out if they won Growing Up Colt. Definitely.
yeah. So,
Where'd Chris go?
you sticking around.
There you are.
We'll ask a question from the interview, and one of the lucky answers we will reward with this fine, fine piece of literature.
There we go. Nice. That sounds good. Well, let's get the show started because it is time for our featured interview of the week. So on the line, we have the one and only fullback, Mr. Johnny Stanton, a new member of our Cleveland Browns. Johnny, we got to start it off. Where'd you get the glasses from, man?
The glasses?
Yeah, where'd you get them?
I got those. I got those from Disneyland. That was not mine. They were part of one of the rides, and I returned them back at the end of the ride.
Nice. I like them. They're a good Twitter biopic.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, you got it. So I saw you've been making the rounds on some local Cleveland podcasts. The volume is up. Everyone's looking for Johnny Stanton. Were you aware that everyone in Cleveland who's a Browns fan had a podcast?
Yeah, not before last week. But I'm happy to join all the shows and excited to be on your guys' show.
Very cool. Well, we appreciate your time, and you have a really interesting backstory. Quarterback in college, but you kind of did it all. 2018, you worked out as a quarterback, tight end, linebacker, long snapper, you name it, at your pro day. 2017, you're UNLV through, I think it was 6 games. You had the craziest stat lines I've ever seen for anyone. You completed 63% of your passes for 724 yards, rushed for 96 yards and 2 touchdowns, had 9 tackles on defense, returned a punt for 19 yards, and you also blocked a punt. How does that even happen?
Yeah, I don't know how those last 2 stats get separated. It was just on a blocked punt that went out of bounds, but so there's just 1 play on that one. But it was kind of all just came from not being able to make it become the starting quarterback. My senior year was not exactly how I grew up, expecting to win the Heisman at whatever school I was at. Like everybody else grows up, wishing. My senior year, I didn't win the starting job at quarterback, and after a few games, I asked our head coach if I could play some special teams. Special teams coach was able to put me on in the game a little bit. Was able to get that block punt, luckily. Linebacker coach asked me to play some linebacker, and after 2 games at that, the starting quarterback went down, and I was able to start for 3 games before the end of the season.
That's incredible. How do you think that versatility kind of helps you out as you're kind of figuring out your path here in the NFL?
A lot of the guys around the league will just say, the more you can do, it's just shorthand for, if you can do more things, if you're a guy on special teams, if you know how to long snap, if you know how to do certain things, it's harder to get cut, and it hasn't stopped me before from getting cut, but it's knowing a lot of different skills and being good at them, and not only does it allow you to be more valuable to the coaches, but also increases your football knowledge overall and allows you to be more of a student of the game.
So because of that kind of that versatile background, there have been some comparisons between you and Taysom Hill. Is that a role you can envision yourself in?
I'd love to. Whatever way Coach Stefanski wants to put me in the offense, I'm more than willing. Taysom Hill is, bottom line, he's a quarterback. He spends more time in the quarterback room than anywhere else. And I'm full speed ahead with fullback. Once I got switched to fullback in Minnesota, I haven't looked back. So, I know Coach Stefanski is a creative guy, and is extremely smart, football wise. But I'm just willing to do whatever he wants me to do.
Yeah, you were at the Vikings when he was a QB coach up there, right? What can you tell us about him?
I wish I would have been able to spend more time with him when I was up in Minnesota. You're right. In 2018, he was quarterback coach up there when I was in the running back room, and but that was only until I got injured in the preseason. And then 2019, I was with the Vikings for only 2 weeks when he was offensive coordinator. So I'm excited to be able to build my relationship with him. I appreciate him bringing me in, and he's a great coach, super approachable, extremely well versed, and really really high level of knowledge in football. I'm excited to be coached by him again.
Any insights that the fans might not know about him that you know that you'd care to share?
He likes to pick out a rookie quarterback to give a joke at the start of every week's offensive meetings.
Okay.
Usually it's a pretty bad one to put him on the spot. But that's what he was doing when I was up there in Minnesota this last year.
And you were
Can you remember
that's
any
awesome.
of them? Can you remember any of the jokes?
How bad were they?
Oh man, I don't know if I can repeat them.
Fair enough.
Hey, I assume you watched the Super Bowl last night, right?
Yes.
Fullback had their moment. Kyle Juszczyk scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl with that position not being particularly glamorous overall. Did you find yourself rooting for that, rooting for other fullbacks? Is that something there's kind of a fraternity for fullbacks?
Yeah, absolutely. I hope to be able to get to know more of them throughout the league. But Juice having that touchdown was awesome. I was up out of my seat, celebrating and stuff. But lesser known, but equally as important, was Sherman on that last touchdown for Kansas City. Had a great block on the edge that allowed allowed the bounce out to go for a touchdown. So just like the fullback position, you're not expected to be noticed on every play, but it's just as important.
So another thing about you, you're admittedly a nerd, right? Do I have that right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So how nerdy are you? Like take us into your nerdom. What kind of nerd are you? Are you like a Trekkie? Are you like a D&D guy? Like Magic the Gathering, Bears Beats, Battlestar Galactica? I mean, what's your flavor of nerd?
Yeah, I know. I got a lot of attention with that one tweet. I think it's really those three main things. I play D&D weekly with some friends.
Nice.
I occasionally get the Pokemon video games, and a few years ago, not quite as much anymore. I was a weekly shopper at the comic shop.
Nice.
Awesome.
So have you found like a comic book shop in the local Cleveland area that you're going to be hanging out at? Maybe challenging some people,
Not
some
yet.
D&D or Pokemon?
No, not yet. I haven't been able to spend as much time in Cleveland as I would like, but I'm excited to be able to get to know the area.
So Johnny, how does that work? So you sign the contract with the Browns. I expect you're going through like the off-season regimen, their kind of their program. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. So when do you think you'll be making your way to Cleveland for that, or are you working out back at home for quite a while?
Currently, I'm working out at home. I think all the guys are either working out at home or going off site to be able to work with the coach that they want to work with. I'm working with some great coaches here in Southern California, and then once April 6th comes, we'll be back in Cleveland.
Awesome. Well, I want to see something. I want to dial back really quick, though. If he's really that nerdy, are the sunglasses prescription? I'm dying to know.
I think they're 3D, which is, I think, better.
3D.
Okay, well, anyway, back to another maybe
Love it.
less statistical question, but we know Clevelanders love nicknames. Have you considered a nickname? Well, we came up with some potential ones, but do you have any nicknames?
I have nothing specific. I know that I've heard Johnny Ballgame before, which I know was Johnny Bench, which I can't imagine you guys are huge Reds fans over there in Cleveland, though.
Nope.
And
Would you like Johnny
I'm open to
Fullback?
whatever you guys want. I don't think you get to pick your own. Nickname.
Oh, the guy knows his rules. Yeah, you know the rules and nicknames. You don't get to self-gloss.
Yeah.
You
True
have to have
that.
somebody else assign it to you. That's well played. Yeah, and Johnny Ballgame's already taken. Johnny Football, of course, is already taken in this town. How about Johnny Fullback? Can we go with that with you? Do you like the ring
I've
of that?
heard that one thrown around. Yeah.
Has it been used? Was it used at all in your career? Has that been glossed?
No.
Yet? Oh, there we go.
No, but fullback's definitely a more recent
Right.
addition to my repertoire. So, yeah, I'm going to let the fans speak for themselves and nickname me whatever they want.
There's nothing worse than like a forced nickname, like what we're going with here. It's so awkward.
Yeah.
You can't blame
Well,
us
let
for
me
getting
go with it.
excited.
Not awkward. Probably isn't right.
That's right. One final question for you, Johnny. You're relatively new to the fullback gig. You've been doing it for a couple of years here now. Obviously, you can play any position out there. Who are some of the guys you're kind of looking up to that you're training with to kind of get more involved in that position?
Well, Minnesota, C.J. Ham was a guy to look up to for me. He was the starter at the position. He just played in the Pro Bowl last week. A really great guy and super tough, super physical. He's the kind of guy that I want to be able to model myself after. But in terms of who I'm training with, is actually a guy named Mike Carney, who was a fullback with the Rams and with the Saints in the 2000s. And once I switched to fullback, when Minnesota switched me to fullback, I had to figure out, who can I learn from? And I already knew that Mike Carney lived near me. I didn't know that he was 5 minutes away from me in Southern California. So he was, he not only that, but he trained the guys. So I was able to train with them back in 2018, and I'm looking forward to working out with them again.
One guy here in Cleveland, if you're looking to get absolutely jacked, hook up with the Scottish Hammer, friend of the show. He knows how to lift weights.
Perfect.
All right, Johnny, we greatly appreciate your time. We're looking forward to having you here in Cleveland. Everybody go out there, follow him on Twitter. He's active out there, and we look forward to seeing you here in Cleveland.
Yeah, we got to get him more followers. That's one of our missions. We've got to get you more follows on there because it looks, from what I could see, just a small sample size, you're going to be fantastic on Twitter. So we need to get some people who can follow you.
Oh, I appreciate it. But thank you guys for having me on the show.
You got it. All right, followers and nicknames. Here we go.
Good luck, Johnny. Thanks a lot.
Good luck.
Thank you, guys.
Johnny Stanton. Johnny Fullback.
He's our nerd. He's our nerd.
He's our nerd.
I think Johnny Fullback could work, and then they
like
could
that.
do a giveaway of like 3D glasses like he's wearing.
What if they made like a custom visor for him that were those glasses?
Oh, yeah, that's even
Like
better.
that would be good. Then he'd have to take it off.
I like it.
And
He's
OBJ.
bringing nerdy back. It's great.
Yes.
Bring it nerdy back.
That's right. Good stuff from Johnny. We appreciate it. Go follow him on Twitter at Johnny Stanton the Fourth. IV at Johnny Stanton the Fourth. Looking forward to seeing him in Cleveland. Speaking of Cleveland, let's get into some Cleveland headlines, courtesy of our friends over at Cleveland Clothing Company.
Dave, you know what?
What?
Cleveland Clothing Company is the ideal place. The ideal place, Dave, for all your Cleveland-themed clothing needs. Check out some of their new arrivals, like their line of Run the Land. I'm personally running and getting ready for a half marathon here in Columbus. You can also get these Run the Land shirts up there in Cleveland. The Cleveland Beer Drinkers Union merchandise, or get a pair of their all-new leggings or joggers. They're new, just out there. And if you use our promo code BigPlay20, you'll get 20% off everything on the site. Go shop online at clevelandclo.com or visit them at any of their locations. Downtown at East 4th, in Akron at the Summit Mall, East Side in University Circle, and over here by the Big Play Studio at Crocker Park.
That's right. Go check them out. Big Play 20. Go get some gear. We got Tribe coming up, too. A lot of Tribe gear. Yeah, it's been a while. Been a long time. Let's get into it because last night the Kansas City Chiefs beat the 49ers 31-20 to win Super Bowl 54. How would you guys rate the game? Gab, did you watch the whole thing? Did you stay up for it?
I didn't watch the entire thing, but I thought it was pretty exciting. I definitely didn't think it was boring, and you gotta love a comeback in the fourth quarter. And then they were putting pressure on Jimmy G, so I thought it was...
Yes, loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was exciting.
Chris, what do you think? I feel like this was one of the better Super Bowls.
Oh, I completely agree. In terms of Super Bowls, exactly. I mean, you're talking a high rating. Dave, you and I go back to some of the 80s, 90s Super Bowls that were blowouts, and it would be ugly in the first quarter. And you'd never see comebacks. And to see a comeback like this, that was good stuff. It was good theater. I thought it was a well-run Super Bowl and well played.
Did you do a football square, Chris?
I did not, although I think I was entered in a few, randomly on Twitter. But no, I didn't personally sign up for one.
Yeah, so I did one for the first time this year, and it paid
0-0?
It paid out every minute of the game, as opposed to like quarterly. So like every minute of the clock, if I had 3-0. So every minute it would pay out $25.
Wow.
It was really, really fun, especially since I had 3-0.
Ooh.
Nice. That's a good one. Yeah. So how much did you make? And report on your taxes.
I think. Oh, come on. I think it was $450.
Ooh. My uncle made $600 because
Really?
well, not because of that.
Oh, your uncle one-upped me.
Well, yeah. Well, he picked the Chiefs to win at the very beginning of the season, and I think he put down 100, so he won
Really?
600. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I wasn't familiar with the minute payout thing though. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I like to gamble, and I'd never heard of that. So we might have to do that for Browns games. Once in like week 2, everything's falling apart. Do squares by the minute.
They're gonna do shots by the minute, knowing Browns fans.
Ooh, I like this too. Why not both, really?
Why not both? Why not both?
Lose your money and your mind. Why not?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yes. We've even got the tagline. Thank you, Gab. That's
So,
perfect.
I saw a lot of people on Twitter were getting pretty optimistic with the Browns after the Super Bowl. The season's over. We're back to a clean slate. How close, realistically, Chris, do you think we are as a contender?
I saw a great tweet right after it. And I don't know, I'm sorry to whoever wrote this. I think it was one of the national guys. It said somewhere at an Applebee's, John Dorsey is sitting at a bar telling the bartender how he built Kansas City for this.
Saw that, yeah.
I just thought that was kind of funny. And I was thinking, the Browns fans right now are like, hey, Dorsey built something over there and then left. They came to us, built something, got fired here. Who knows? Maybe we're the next ones up. We're always looking for something. We're always grasping at straws. And the optimism, Dave, starts as soon as the Super Bowl's over. We're at a clean slate right now, right?
Oh, I'm seeing 16-0s already.
Oh, yeah. 16-0s, and we're drafting, in the top 15, so we're right there. So the offseason just kind of falls into place for us. I don't know. The optimism just builds immediately. I love it.
Gab,
for the ultimate, letdown that we know it's coming.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
That's not for a ways away. We're talking August, September, maybe even October.
Right.
But for right now, up until that time, I mean, you got 8 months, 7 months worth of fun.
That is
Yeah.
very
This is our
true.
time. As Browns, this is our time.
That's what's hard is because the optimism taints all of us who've grown up in Cleveland or been a Cleveland fan. So as much as I want to come in with like a more realistic attitude, I can't help it
can't.
either.
You can't.
I'm like, no, for sure. We definitely have a chance. Look at us on paper. Look at these moves we're making.
Oh, God, don't say on paper.
Things happen. Things are happening. Things are moving.
Yeah.
A lot
Yeah.
of uncertainty there. A lot of uncertainty.
But I love that.
with
See, when
the
it's
new
uncertain, I'm
front
always banking
office.
on fun uncertainty.
We've got.
Yes,
We're
optimistic.
bringing in nerdy fullbacks and
Love
we've got
it.
nerdy front office, and we're probably going to be getting rid of some guys, and people are going to start getting upset. I mean, there are going to be some things. Some dominoes are going to fall. There's going to be some things.
16-0. So our guy Baker Mayfield was making the media rounds before the Super Bowl on FS1, Get Up on ESPN. He came across very humbled, very sincere. Still got in a foot joke to Rex Ryan, which was incredible.
Well placed.
Well played by Baker Mayfield there. Rex Ryan, one of his biggest critics. Now, up here, I was listening to local radio today, and a lot of people were unhappy with Baker's behavior, saying he wasn't taking it seriously. He's still trying to go back and get these quick witty rebuttals into these media guys. That was just another example of it. Where do you fall here? Let's do a gut check here. All right, let's do a gut check.
This is gut check time. Gut check time.
Chris, where do you fall on this? Do you think anything of that? I mean, it's just a little joke. He's with the
cares?
media.
Who cares? I mean, really, who cares? We had a starting quarterback in Cleveland who flew out to Las Vegas on a Saturday before a game, dressed up as a guy named Billy, and gambled and drank the whole time. Do I really care if our guy Baker Mayfield goes on the air and tries to, match wits with Rex Ryan in the off season? I mean, what do you expect him to do? That's part of
February.
the job.
Yeah.
That's part of the job as a starting quarterback, is to kind of be that face and be that guy that's out there, be the marketing guy. I think it's fine. Who cares?
Yeah, I'm with you, Gab. Do you have any issue with Baker Mayfield having a little fun during the media, even though he's coming off a really bad season?
Not really. I mean, I was trying to play devil's advocate just for the sake of conversation.
Play devil's advocate. Come on.
But
let's see it.
I don't know. I can't. I feel like personality is okay. I think Stefanski, whatever he said initially in his press conference, I think he said he welcomes personality.
He does.
I like that approach. I think personality is okay, but, the biggest factor is to make sure the play backs everything up and we have the substance, not just the flash. You know what I'm talking about? So I think it's fine. He's in safe territory because it's the off season, but I think we would feel a little bit differently if we were, 0-5 and he was just doing stuff on his own and, just trying to be the funny guy.
That's fair.
Oh, the Cavs lost, folks.
Oh,
In overtime, 139 to 134. The 11th straight home loss for your Cleveland Cavaliers. That's rough.
But we went
That's
to
rough.
overtime.
Went to overtime, fellas.
Good job, Cavs.
I caught a little bit of it.
Baby
Dave,
steps.
against the Knicks. The New York Knicks.
Oh, God, let's move on. So every year, Super Bowl commercials end up being usually as big as the Super Bowl. Any of these commercials stand out to you? What was your guys' favorite one? Chris, I'll start with you.
My least favorite one was the Tom Brady one. I really didn't like
What
that.
a
'cause
load
he
of
did that,
crap.
He did a tease on Twitter with the picture, and he had everybody talking about it. And then you find out it's just like a crummy commercial. I mean, it felt like a Christmas story, right? When Ralphie finds out it's a commercial for Ovaltine, I mean, that's exactly what it was. Everybody was trying to dissect this, kind of read the tea leaves on Tom Brady. You find out it's a damn marketing thing. That sucked.
Most annoying Hulu commercial, was it Baker or Tom Brady?
I don't know. I'm sick of Baker too being in commercials. I know it's our guy and a local guy, but man, every time he's in a commercial, I just think of all the overthrows. So I don't think I like either of those Hulu commercials.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Gab, did you have a favorite?
Oh, yeah, I did. The Lil Nas X dance-off, where he did this, and then the guy's mustache did that.
Who is
They're
that
going
guy?
back and forth.
Chris, do you know who that is?
I don't know
Yeah,
who that
He's a
is.
famous
Sam.
actor.
Oh God, now it's Sam. I forget his last name. He's from Big Lebowski.
Yes, I can't remember his
he's
name. He's been in a
famous.
ton of stuff.
And then they
yeah.
they had Billy Ray Cyrus at the end, real quick. It was a perfect. I just loved
That
it.
was the guy who I didn't know who was Billy Ray Cyrus. Thank you for that.
Oh.
I did not know who that was.
The
at end
remix,
of
Chris. Come on.
He just popped in at the end. He was like, "I ain't dancing." I liked it.
Okay, now I get the commercial. I'm like, I should know who that guy is. I guess I'm getting to that age where it's just like I'm the guy who's not in on the jokes because I saw it and I'm like, I should know who that is. I really don't know who that guy is. That's funny.
Speaking of aging, Shakira and
Yeah.
Jennifer Lopez, they haven't at all. Halftime show last night, mixed reviews. I thought it was pretty awesome. It was in Miami. Chris, thoughts on the Super Bowl halftime show?
I tell you what, when it comes to halftime shows, I think out of all the halftime shows, there's maybe like 3 or 4 I've ever liked, and I thought this one was good. And I put this in that grouping. You know, I thought they did a good job. It was entertaining. You know, I thought the dancing was good. You know, and so I really enjoyed watching it on Twitter as people were melting down, like, you know, the boomers, as the kids call them now, just melting down about the way that the ladies dressed and the dancing and shaking their butt or whatever else. I thought that was hilarious because it's just like, what do you expect? What do you expect? They're trying to put something on, and I don't know. I thought it was fun. I thought it was good.
You should have went over to Facebook to see the middle-aged women's comments of the inappropriateness. Yes, Gab, where did you fall on this?
It's funny because I was kind of the critique part of me wanted to point out what I appreciated and what I could have seen go differently.
Pros and cons.
But then I didn't want to critique because I was like, well, maybe I won't be girl power enough because I'm totally girl power. But at the same time, I was also kind of like, you don't even have to go that far with the stripper pole to know that these chicks are crushing it at 50. Like, they didn't even have to do that. I was already wowed before any of that. And I really appreciated that they were kind of like making almost a mockery of all of us millennial, like the Instagram wannabe fake butt, all this, look at my lips. Like, because they they had great choreography. Shakira was killing it. Her step work was amazing. I thought at times, J-Lo, love you. At times a little ahead. That's okay.
I wasn't feeling it, dog.
I was
wasn't.
actually critiquing. I love Bruno Mars, so he's like my standard, and he also doesn't lip sync. That would be my only other critique. Little bit of lip syncing going on. We don't appreciate that. You want to be the top entertainer, you got to do it live. This is your one night. Just bring your A game for that one night, you know. So that was kind of my analysis. Otherwise, of course, I mean, it was hot. It was very Miami. It was, I'm on tonight. You know my hips don't lie, and I'm starting to feel you, boy. Like, they brought me right back to 8th grade in my room preparing for dances at school. You know what I mean?
That, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. The hips do not lie. The hips do not lie.
Do not.
You're not going to get a critique like that anywhere else.
No.
Anywhere else. I promise you. That was awesome.
So who would your guys' dream halftime show be?
Dave Matthews.
No, you can't say Dave Matthews because Nick in the show notes here, he said, "Don't let Chris say Dave Matthews." So you have to come up with someone different.
It's my typical fraternity. When I'm Counting Crows, I don't know, Blues Traveler. I'll
like
just go down all
you're gonna go OAR.
Rusted Fruit. Yeah, OAR. We'll pull them out. Red Wanting Blue. People don't know who they are. They're an Ohio band, but you go with any of those guys. That'd be fine with that. Collective Soul. What are they up to?
Wow. Nickelback.
Nickelback. No.
Gab, who
That-
are your favorite?
That's where he
Is it
draws the
Bruno
line.
Mars?
It's got to be Bruno.
Yeah.
This is a little shout out to my dad, Papa Cruz. This man also loves Bruno, and we bond over Bruno Mars. He's a great entertainer. I think he's got all the dance moves in the world. He's live. He has incredible vocal ability. He's just captivating. He's fun to watch.
How about Cake? Remember Cake?
He's going the distance.
Cake?
Yeah,
He's going
Cake.
for speed.
All alone.
I put that song on this weekend. That's weird that you said that. And my kids are like, "What is this?"
Oh, it's great.
They
Those
liked
guys
it.
were
They
like
liked
90 when they released that, so I can just imagine how old a Cake is these days. Mighty Boss Tones. We could bring back ska.
Wow.
Am I talking? Yeah.
Real
yeah,
Big
Real
Fish.
Big Fish. Yes.
Oh, this is getting weird.
Oh,
So sadly,
Ska's not dead. Ska's not dead, Dave. Ska's just sleeping.
Ska's not dead. That'll be on a Cleveland t-shirt by tomorrow. The NFL season is officially over, but the XFL starts this Saturday. Gab, do you have any interest in the XFL?
The Seattle Dragons.
The Clip Art Dragons. Have you seen these logos?
Yeah, they were
I
bad.
love that you said clip art. That's so great, and it's very accurate. Go ahead, do your Googling.
Yeah, that's right. It is bad. It is really bad. Chris, are you going to watch this?
Probably not. Do we? We don't have a team in Cleveland or in Ohio, do we?
No.
XFL. They just kind of skipped over like the number one state for football.
One of my neighbors is really pushing for the Vipers, who is Antonio Callaway is on.
Okay.
He
All right.
texted me today, and he's like, "Hey, Antonio Callaway got hurt today at practice. Like, go Vipers." I'm like, I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready for this at all.
You know what we got to do? Okay. Pull up the teams. We each got to pick a team. Is what we got to do.
All right, Chris, pull
All
up
right?
the
I'm
teams.
going
Pick a
Dragons.
team. I know nothing about these teams.
So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the Washington D.C. Defenders because they have Cardell Jones.
Ooh, that's nice.
And they have one of my favorite draft picks of all time, Scooby Wright the Third. You remember when he did a backflip? He said something about the dog pound, then did a backflip in Arizona when he got drafted in like the 7th round. No, not ringing any bells here.
I'm gonna have to. I'll find it on Twitter.
Yeah, it's out there. It's out there. But yeah, he's in the XFL. Cardell Jones. How could you not root for Cardell Jones?
That's pretty good.
I had no
That's
idea.
pretty
He
good.
was.
God, I know nothing about these teams. Let's
Chris, are
see
you going to
here.
support the Antonio Callaway Vipers?
Well, no, we got to each pick a team. So
I'm going
I've gotta
Defenders.
pick- You're the Defenders. The
I'm
DC
going
Defenders.
Dragons.
And
Gab
you're the
is going
Dragons.
Strictly based off the name and the pick art.
Yes,
Yeah. And you're saying the Tampa Bay Vipers are the ones that I should be looking at?
I think so. I think that's Antonio Callaway. Now, I don't know if you want to support him though.
Oh, but Callaway's on injured reserve, so.
I think as of today.
Oh boy. Oh,
Breaking
man.
XFL news.
Let me read up. Do a little bit of research here. Let me see here.
How many teams are there?
Antonio Callaway was placed on injury reserve Thursday after sustaining a lower leg injury. He's only 23 still. How about that?
That's crazy.
They said he came there focused. So there you go. That's big.
Hey, all right.
They were exciting. He was engaging with other players. Wow, that's great.
Fantastic reporting.
This is a fantastic article I'm reading.
Where are you at? You must be
I'm
on
on the
BigPlay.com.
official site of the XFL where I'm reading their news.
Oh, God.
Does
it have all their team names?
Oh, yeah. I was just
what do we got?
I clicked somewhere. Oh, geez.
Click somewhere. I'm lost.
Now I'm on the Vipers official page. This is not easy. Let's see here. Teams. Okay.
You got them. Well done.
The Dallas Renegades, the DC Defenders,
Yes.
the Houston Roughnecks, the LA Wildcats, the Nye Guardians, the New York Guardians, the St. Louis Battlehawks, the Seattle Dragons, and the Tampa Bay Vipers.
Who are you going with? You got to do some recon?
Tampa Bay Vipers. I'll go with that. Go Tampa Bay Vipers.
Okay.
I'm
Interesting.
going to write that down so I remember that. 'Cause next week I'll be like, who am I again? The Guardians? The Nye Guardian?
That was way too much on the XFL.
Nye Guardians. Let's see if they've got anybody good. Let's see.
All right,
Go Vipers.
Go Vipers. Hashtag Go Vipers. That'll get trending real quick here. Let's move on to an actual Cleveland sport. The Cleveland Indians. So Lindor was asked about his future this week with the Indians. I think this was at Tribe Fest, wasn't it, Gabe?
Yes.
Okay. And he said, I'm not money-driven. I'm championship-driven. Chris, is that giving you any hope that he could be re-signed?
None at all.
None
Nope.
at all.
Zero.
Gab,
Zilch.
any at all?
Yeah, being realistic, no.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, come
That's
on.
fair.
You're supposed
That's
to be
I'm
Holly positive over here.
I
Come
know.
on.
That's where I draw the line, though. Once I was, because I was working something else, so I would overhear that press conference. But as soon as I checked Twitter and was seeing some of the transcript from that and what he was telling the media, I was for sure, my heart kind of sank.
Shoot, like all of Cleveland.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna hold out hope.
But like we
Because
are
we
cutting
haven't-
so much, so I don't
Right.
know. But
Maybe there's a plan.
but I feel like he would have said he was considering if.
Probably.
Yeah,
Probably so.
I
I
gotta
like
stay
your
realistic.
optimism.
Yeah.
I'm just building this optimism. This is off-season optimism.
There's
Let's
still a
just keep
chance.
I know.
The Browns are
There's still
16-0.
a
We're locking up Lindor long term. Everything's going to be just fine here in Cleveland.
Where do you think he would go if we didn't?
The Nye Yankees.
Oh, I don't want to talk.
Okay, all right, let's not. Let's not even do it. I don't want to.
Yeah, pass.
I've
That is
thought
a
about it
pass.
though. Okay.
So we're getting into a weird time of the year where there's literally nothing on except for the XFL now. We're all sports fans, but now that the NFL is officially over, where's the focus going, Chris? Blue Jackets,
We know it's not.
Cavs?
We know it's not family or work,
No,
right?
no, absolutely not.
What?
NFL
What?
draft,
No way.
Indians. You getting into basketball at all? NCAA?
See,
I can't.
You know, I'm a big Buckeye hoops. I really am. I'm a big Buckeye hoops fan, but that has just been a train ride that has been ugly. It's been, oh man, we started off in the top 5 in the country, and now we're just way back and having troubles. We finally won. We beat Indiana over the weekend, but that's been just a horrible ride and very disappointing season so far. So I'm very upset about that. I don't know. The Blue Jackets have been playing really well, though, down here in Columbus. So I will give a shout out to my Blue Jackets. I think that they're no longer a wild card. Now they've got a normal playoff spot as of right now, but they're right in there. They've been playing really good hockey. So I will watch a lot of Blue Jackets.
So I know nothing about hockey, like at all. Like, where are we in the season right now?
Well, it mirrors basketball pretty close. So,
It does. Okay.
I mean, Yeah, we're getting past the All-Star break, and yeah, I think we're about halfway through. I mean, I watch the games. I don't until people tell me about the playoff implications and things like that, I don't follow as closely.
What's better to watch? Is it NBA regular season or NHL regular season?
See, that's tough. I watch about both of them kind of the same a lot of times. So I'll have it on in the background.
Just background noise.
Yeah. I mean, I don't watch anything like I do like the Browns. Like the Browns, you watch. I watch every
once
play.
a
I never
week.
have it on the background.
Okay,
Yeah,
well.
yeah, exactly. I mean, you get into the summer, I got baseball on all the time. How much of it I'm actually paying attention to, it depends on what inning we're talking about,
That's fair.
I'm in and out, but it's always on. It's the same way with all these other sports, with the exception of football.
Yeah, where does your attention go?
Okay, well, this is a big time for USA Track and Field. I'm catching up with all of my Girl Crush runners running indoor meets and running PRs. So Corey McGee just ran a 9-second PR in the 1500, and Steeple Squigs, that's Colleen Quigley of the Bowerman Babes. She just ran a 3K in 8:44, and that's also a personal best by 29 seconds. So she's killing it. So I'm really just keeping up with track and field right now. It's exciting, and people who don't understand and don't think track is exciting, I don't agree with you.
Ooh,
Now, where was that?
harsh
That was
words.
bold.
Harsh
I liked
words.
it.
She's taking a stand there.
Now, okay, so this track and field plug, where is this all happening? What's going on with it?
See, you can stream a lot of this on an app and online. I'm sure you can do it. See, I just keep up on social media mostly and check
Okay.
times and get highlights. But definitely for big meets, it is on. I see it on TV. They'll play. I'm trying to think of if it's, off, not ESPN 2,
the
but
Ocho.
like one of those off
ESPN
ones.
University.
Yeah, when the big meets come up, they're on. Yes.
Got it.
But when you just want to check videos, it's not Let's Run. Why am I? Oh, Flow Track. That's what it is, Flow Track.
Flow track.
And yeah, you do have to have a subscription, and I don't, but I call my college coach and I cheat and I get in and watch that way.
Password sharing. Don't say it.
Yeah.
All right, let's power rank because it's Power Rank Monday. It's time for Power Rank Monday. So one of the commercials last night was a trailer for the new Top Gun Maverick movie. Looked awesome. Did you just grunt at that? Did you just give me an old man grunt to that?
That was.
That
was.
looks really good.
Can confirm.
I have very little excitement for that movie. I mean, are you really pumped up to see that?
I think it's going to be good,
repeat
man.
Of a Tom Cruise. I mean, oh, man. Gab, how about you? You excited for it?
Come on.
I'm so indifferent. It's unbelievable.
Fair enough.
You're
Also,
probably
I
like
think
me.
he's
It's just-
such a loony, so I'm not really even sure.
He is. I think it's going to
I'm
be
looking
good.
forward to the shirtless volleyball scene.
Yes.
They've got to have that in there, right?
Val Kilmer.
Playing with the boys.
Val
Come
Kilmer
on.
got really, really fat, but I think he's back in
really
shape.
fat.
Like he looked a lot like Fat Thor. I forget the movie that he was in.
Even Fat Thor is not bad, though. That's kind of a compliment.
Love Fat Thor.
Really nice backhanded compliment.
Yes, that's right. Okay, so my movies that I'm looking forward to. My number 3 that might come out, probably never will. I'm going Inside Out, a sequel to Inside Out. Did you guys see this movie?
No.
I did.
Yes.
That was pretty good.
Post Malone.
Animated.
Post Malone in a commercial last night. I forget what it was for. I think it was maybe like Doritos or something. But it was like inside of his brain, and like everyone had facial tattoos, like that was working his brain. Yeah. So that's from Inside Out. You should see it, Gab. I think it's Pixar.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a kids movie, but that reminded me, that Post Malone commercial, how good this was. So they need to, all the movies nowadays are like a remake or like, just rehashing something. This was like a really good idea. So the sequel would probably be awful because they already did it. But I'm going Inside Out 2. That's my number 1.
Oh, that's your movie that
That's my
you
number
would
3.
make into a sequel.
Correct.
Okay.
Number 2, Office Space. Did they do this? Chris, any idea?
No.
They never
I
did it,
think that
right?
would be I think that'd be outstanding. They could do that. You just kind of update it with the new things because
Yeah.
technology has moved on. It wouldn't be the copier now. It'd be
Right, it wouldn't
some
be
sort
a
of problem with
fax
the
machine.
internet. Yeah, or somebody ransomware. I don't know, something along those lines. All you have to do is update that. Same jokes, rewarm them. I mean, it would work.
I think it would. It would probably be horrible, but I love watching 9 to 5 cubicle talk, and I think you can't go wrong with that. They got to make Office
Do you bring
Space
back
too.
Jennifer Aniston? I mean, is she still working at like Applebee's or Chuckles
what was
or
that
something?
place?
I mean, how do you
Fun-
recast that one? I don't
what
know.
was it called? She had a lot of flair.
A lot of pieces of flair.
Case of the Mondays. Oh, that's gonna
Yes.
bug me now. That's gonna bug me. All right, my number 1. I'm going. This probably won't be a popular choice. I'm going Team America World Police. I saw this in college. This is the South Park guys, the puppets, the cartoon puppets, where they save the
Okay,
world.
yeah.
Do you remember this?
Oh yeah, I definitely do. I didn't think this was sequelable, but anything's sequelable, really.
I just want to see them just do it again. I feel like in 2020 it would not go over well at all, and I would just like to see it on Twitter.
Nice.
Chris, what are your top 3?
Okay, number 3. Draft Day 2. Picture it. Draft Day 2, right?
What would be the trade?
I have no idea. What a horrible idea that would be, though, right?
We would trade the
No.
10th pick overall for 2 firsts and David Putney.
It's the problem with the movie is, you can't get any more Hollywood than what we already have in Berea. So it's like, how wild do you go? Do you start doing alternate timelines? You kind of go an Avengers route with it? That's the only way you could take the madness that happens every single year in Berea around the draft and around everything else around this team and make it even more Hollywood, because draft day just doesn't do it justice, right?
You give
can't have
you
a
give John Dorsey the time stone.
That's right. That's what you have to do. You have to do
could be
alternate
good.
timelines to actually make it engaging, more so than what our actual Browns do. It's amazing.
Chris, what's your number 2?
My number 2. My computer just died. Oh, that's amazing.
Perfect.
Yeah. How about Pulp Fiction 2?
Wow.
Pulp Fiction 2. Yeah, I think they kind of did that with like Get Shorty and some of these others, but
Yeah, the
I
Pulp
could s-
Fiction-esque.
kind of like that. I mean, they're all kind of the same stuff, but I really like Pulp Fiction. I think. Did you like Pulp Fiction? I mean, most.
Oh, I loved it. How did it
people-
end? I don't remember.
Yeah, you never find out what's in the briefcase. That's the best part. You never find out. And that's the
yes.
question,
God,
right?
I haven't seen that forever.
Yeah,
That'd be a good one.
Don't give a woman a foot massage, right?
That's right.
Right. And the next one, I tell you what, this one's up for movie of the year. I mean, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Did you see that?
No,
that
who was this?
That was phenomenal. The one that was just out over the summer. You guys didn't see this movie?
Was
No.
this
Once Upon a
was
Time
this
in-
the one? Was this DiCaprio
Quentin
and Brad
Tarantino. It's
Pitt?
another Tarantino. That's right, with DiCaprio and Brad Pitt, and it was just fantastic. It was set back with the Manson murders, kind of that time, and it was a period piece. And of course, it had Tarantino's kind of turn at the end, and it was really well done. It was you have to block off about 3 hours of your life to watch this thing, which normally I can't do. But this one was entertaining enough to keep my interest, and also, like a lot of period pieces, they have in a lot of nostalgia and those type of Easter eggs to get people engaged. But I thought it was really good. So I could see doing a second one and like updating it, kind of taking it on to whatever the next wave is from the 70s up to the 80s, something along those lines. I think there was a compelling enough story to take it on. So I would like to see that.
It had a ton of really, really good reviews, and my parents texted me like last weekend, and they said they saw it, and they said it was one of the worst movies they've ever seen.
Oh, wow.
I was like,
See?
wow. We'll have them on as a guest. You guys can debate Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay, I'm gonna
Well,
have to
now
watch
I will
that.
tell you, I've seen, like I've said, a ton of movies this year, and I'll tell you my top movies. Number 1, Knives Out. If you haven't seen that,
Haven't
you
seen
need to
it.
see Knives Out. Oh, go see that
Okay.
one. I think that's my
Alright.
number 1.
I gotta
Number
write
2,
this down.
Jojo Rabbit. If you haven't seen that one,
Have
go
not
see
seen
that.
that.
And then I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I'd probably have that as my
What is
number 3.
Jojo
Just-
Rabbit?
It's really well done. It's about World War II. It's about the Holocaust, but it's kind of got comedic parts to it, and then it's also pretty emotional at times too. So they did a really good job with it. They did a really good job. It's tough to describe. You'd have to go see it, but it's really well done.
Excellent.
Yeah, and also Richard Jewell. If you catch that one, that's another one that's out there.
I wanted to
that's
see
really
that.
good. Yeah. Believe it or not, that one's pretty good.
I don't remember
directed by
that.
Clint Eastwood. It was well done.
Nice.
Well done.
Very
So
cool.
there you go. There's a few movies, some gems before we get to award season here with the movies that you need to go see.
There you go. Gab, if we could make a sequel of any movie, what would it be?
So these are kind of dumb, and I'm not as up to date on movies as you are, Chris, for sure. So mine are more of throwbacks. If anyone recalls A Troll in Central Park, which is no one.
I have no idea what that is. That a
course you don't.
track and field
So
movie?
one of the Troll?
It's not.
Yeah,
It's
was
called
it
A
one of the
Troll in
Troll
Central
movies?
Park, and I watched it at least a minimum of 5 times a day growing up. I loved it because the troll had a green thumb, and I sucked my thumb growing up. And it was only until like the 2nd grade, okay? So calm down. I know that's kind of old, but just hear me out. I'm normal, I swear. So definitely A Troll in Central Park. It's a compelling storyline. This troll, he just...
Compelling.
Yeah. I mean, he beats all these forces that are against him, and he has a green thumb. That's the coolest thing ever, and he brings beauty to life. It's amazing. He lives a very dangerous life as well. I think I would love to see a sequel and see what's and all the beauty that he brings the world.
I have so many movies I'm going to look up after this.
I know. I was trying to write down, Chris, all the ones that you said because those seem very mature. But I'm going to have to go to my next movie, which is...
Ding.
Do I want to do this in order? Okay, Matilda. I don't think they made a Matilda 2.
A book? No.
Wow.
I don't think. I loved Matilda.
I love Matilda, and I would love to see a sequel of her and Miss Honey are in their happy ever life, and Miss Honey gets a husband, maybe they have some more kids, Trunchbull becomes a drug addict, like something really crazy, maybe she kills somebody, or maybe that's
she didn't die, did she?
No, I don't think she did, no.
She ran away.
Oh, come
Trunchbull?
on. I haven't seen it yet.
Trunchbull?
Matilda from like 1985.
I don't know, something
Spoiler
crazy.
alert.
It's a great movie if you haven't seen it.
That's a good one.
That's your fault. My last movie, I just watched this on Netflix, so this is the only current movie I can speak to, but it's called Turbo, and it's a snail
Oh, yeah. I've seen Turbo.
who makes his debut in the Indy 500, and it's amazing. It's wonderful. It's truly inspiring, and I would love to see a second movie to that.
I thought they did.
I like Turbo.
Too.
Did
Didn't
they?
No?
Maybe
it went straight to DVD.
I Googled. I would love to see Turbo too. If it is out there, even better.
You know what I'd like to see?
What's that?
You were talking about kind of trolling the movies you just cannot make anymore. Do like Blazing Saddles too. Have you ever seen Blazing Saddles?
The internet would like that's what I was going for with Team America. Like the internet could not handle it. It could not handle it.
Happen.
No.
If you've never seen Blazing Saddles, go out and see that, and you'll see that you cannot make that movie anymore. I mean, even though it's all satire and it's supposed to be satire, it just people don't get it anymore. It will not work.
Have you guys heard of The Room?
The Room. No.
Oh man, we used to watch that on the bus to track meets like over and over. It became the most inside joke.
Time at a track meet.
You this one time at band camp, but not really. We used to. It's the most uncomfortable, awkward. Like you know how Napoleon Dynamite is awkward and it doesn't make any sense, and it's just
movie.
The Room is so under the radar like that. The main character was also the producer. He like basically from the ground up made this movie. He thought he was going to be a superstar. He acted like one. He thought he was so brilliant, and the movie and the acting is just so uncomfortably hilarious that it's amazing. And it became our entire team inside joke. And then the world caught on. Because then I think, who was it? Who's the main guy in Pineapple Express?
Seth Rogen?
No, his friend.
James Franco.
James Franco.
Yes.
They made a remake of The Room, and they made it about the the main character, the main guy who originally created it, sort of like
that guy.
Really?
Okay, yes.
they
yes. I
created
didn't know that was the name of the
a
movie.
whole movie about how that guy decided, I think, to make the room
Yes.
in the first place, and so
Yes.
so it is
Right.
kind of under the radar, but also I guess it's become an inside joke to those who also movie lovers who have also caught on.
Wow.
Very good.
Interesting. I like that. All right, let's move on. We're running late to some Would You Rather. Good movie talk there. All right, Chris. I got one for you. Would you rather Cleveland get an XFL team or bring back the Gladiators?
Bring back the Gladiators. Come on, with Bernie Kosar back at the helm. I just love that.
Yeah, I think I'm with you there.
And I've told the story 5 million times. The time I met Bernie Kosar at a convenience store, and I was turned around, and you could just hear him talking. He's he's up there, right there. He's checking out, getting gas, and you hear him just talking. I got close enough to hear he's talking Gladiators, in that grovelly voice. It's like, yeah, I'm going up to the game, up to the Gladiators game, and I'm like, oh, that's Bernie Kosar behind me talking Cleveland Gladiators. And sure enough, it was. And it wasn't a dream or anything, but it felt like a dream sequence.
They won a
Yeah,
championship, didn't they?
I think so. Why not? Let's award him one.
I think, though, and then they took a season off. And then
According
just
to
never
you, they
came
won
back.
a Calder Cup, I think.
Yes, I believe they did. All right, Gab, I got one for you.
Okay.
Would you rather host the Grammys, the Oscars, or the upcoming March 2020 Me vs. Nuggets?
Oh wow.
Three
You threw that one in there for good measure.
three blockbuster events.
As tempting as the 2020 Me versus Nuggets is, I'd probably do the Grammys 100%. It'd be so exciting. I love music. Also, to go back to Chris's Would You Rather, I think we could bring back the Cleveland Crunch.
Yes.
Do you guys remember
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
that?
Oh, yeah.
I remember
Oh,
my
yeah.
friend Helen
Crunch
took...
or the Force.
Yeah,
I'd go either way.
I remember my friend Helen took me to one of their games in grade school, and it was the most exciting thing ever. And I was sad to see them go. But yeah, definitely the Grammys if I got to host.
I like it. Cleveland Crunch. God, I haven't heard of them in a long,
Mm-hmm.
long time. Did they
Won a
play at
championship.
Richfield? Where'd they play?
Heck yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was right down the road. I went to several of their games because it was
Wow.
right there at the old Coliseum.
I got an autographed soccer ball, I think.
Very
I think
cool.
everybody's got an autograph something from the Crunch. I've got some of that stuff downstairs. I haven't looked at it in years, but I think I've got
My
a few
dog
of
ate
those
it, but at the time, it was a really big deal to me.
That's right.
things. Yeah.
All right, let's do some bold predictions and get out of here. Chris, I know you have a good one.
I don't have a good one, but I have a topical one.
Okay.
Ohio State. We were just talking Ohio State basketball and how I've been upset. Tomorrow, big game, we play Michigan. We are going to beat Michigan into the ground, and we're going to beat them by more than 20 points tomorrow. Ohio State men's basketball beats Michigan tomorrow by more than 20 points.
There we go. Okay, I like that. I'm going to go with a Cavs one. I think
I
Tristan
was gonna do
Thompson
that.
is going to get traded. I think it's going to
Oh.
happen. I think Tristan Thompson is getting traded. He didn't play tonight. He had a quad injury. We'll see what
Kevin
happens.
Love was playing like he wanted to be traded.
Right? Gab, what do you got?
Good
Did I
luck.
steal yours?
Oh, Indians. I like this. The possibility of the Indians signing Puig?
Oh, that was Chris's last week. Are you
That
going
was
to
my
roll
last week.
into it?
Oh,
Make
is
it.
that-
Yes, take
that-
his.
is
I
that-
called it last week.
You
can
did
call
say
it this
that.
week.
Okay, well,
Mine's
because
expired.
I held a baby at Tribe Fest that was born during a Puig walk-off.
I saw that.
September.
You tweeted that out. That was really cool.
And it
then
kinda-
somebody asked, really? In the stadium?
Yeah, I know. Someone was like, can we confirm, was this born in the stadium?
In the
Well,
stadium.
no, but I mean, still a cool moment. And this guy
Yeah, that's
brings a
awesome.
ton of swag. So even though that's an old prediction, so that wasn't, I just saw it on
Well,
this-
no, his prediction, it's only
Well-
for the week. So his
Okay.
prediction is done. You can steal it.
It's expired.
Okay,
You're stealing my
if that one
prediction.
is expired, even though I think that's great and I would love to have him back, I was just going to say Cavs win the third quarter specifically. Like their next
Okay.
game, they are going to win the third quarter.
Wow.
Bold
we
prediction.
haven't won a third quarter,
Which is
since,
very
like,
bold, actually.
Pre-Anderson
is.
Varejao. It's
Wow,
been a
yeah.
while. It's been a while. I like it though.
Back in the Danielle Marshall days.
Oh God, if you Google him, he's kind of
I
let himself
remember
go.
that guy.
Oh yeah.
Let
This is
himself go when he played for the Cavs.
Well, this is a
That's true.
conversation
This
for
is
a whole
true.
nother day, but real quick, I'm sure you guys have seen the Delonte West stuff. I don't know if you've talked about it on the
Yes.
podcast, but
I don't know if we did. That kind of happened in between shows. That's messed up.
that
stuff.
is really messed up and sad. And I used to love his one-liners in high school, and I would have all these things. I'd be coloring pictures, and it would be him and who's Sasha Pavlovich, who was very not good at all. He couldn't make layups, but I loved that guy too. So
High school.
Sasha.
God, do you always make us feel so old? Or at least me. Maybe I take this way too personally, but you're like, oh yeah, Delonte West. I remember him back in high school. Man, am I old. Keep going. I interrupted your story. I'm going to go cry.
no, I hope the NBA helps him. That's all.
And there were people reaching out to him.
That's
Jameer
good.
Nelson, a couple people from the NBA. So, yeah, I mean, God, everyone loved him here in Cleveland.
Yeah, I remember he did
And
this.
he had great one-liners like
Oh my
snitches
goodness.
get stitches.
He's like, what did he say?
He
Me and
was-
my sister used to always be like, trains, planes,
sauce in my
automobiles,
bag.
better have my donuts. Like,
Gotta get my donuts.
yeah, he would just always have. It's sad to see him in the state. I hope they get him help and people do reach out. That's great.
Yes. Good note to end on. Wait, Quiz, we did not give away a book.
Oh, we're about to. Do we have anybody hanging on still?
I have no idea.
No idea. Cannot tell. Okay.
You want to just give one away randomly
You
during,
could do
Yeah.
during the
Twitter.
week?
Yeah, we'll give it away this week to somebody who randomly retweets for one of these. One of the retweets this week, look for them out there on Twitter. I will pick a random retweet. It will be in the tweet, and I'll give away this fine piece of literature.
Growing Up Colt.
Growing Up Colt. Come on.
Featured on your
49
mantle.
cents. That's what I get for the listeners. That's the
fine
reward for
48
hanging with
cents.
us. We appreciate it.
That's right. And we appreciate all of you guys. Appreciate our sponsors, Cleveland Clothing Company, Shaq News. And
course.
we will see you guys next Monday at 9 p.m.
Hi, everyone. Tim Kinsler from NBA Jam and NFL Blitz. You're listening to the best podcast on the air, Boom Shakalaka.
Okay, do you need medical attention?
Yeah,
What is wrong?
I don't know. I ain't no goddamn doctor.
Free Shakalaka. Reflog. It's just golfer backward. Boom Shakalaka.